What's going on, guys? So today we're going to be comparing all the wheels that I own. So the Thrustmaster TGT, the Thrustmaster T300, the Fanatec CSL Elite, and the Logitech G29. So on Discord, I asked you guys to, ask me specific questions that you wanted me to cover in this video. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this video by answering those questions. And at the very end of the video, I'm going to stack up all these four wheels in terms of value and give you guys my personal opinion on what I think would be the best option for that. And I might go over the T150 a little bit because I have played on that wheel, or the T500 at the end of the video. And also, I'm going to give my personal opinion on a different game like Assetto Corsa. So right now, everything that I talk about is going to be about GT Sport, and then at the very end, I'll talk about being used in Assetto Corsa, a different game, more of a sim game, so you can kind of get an idea for that, because there is a difference. There is a difference between using these wheels on GT Sport compared to using it on Assetto Corsa, and we'll go over that later. So first, let's start with these questions. So the first question I got, this is by 5 Signs. He says, in your experience of driving with wheels, this question coming from a controller user, have you noticed a significant improvement in control of vehicles? Additionally, how else does it improve the experience for you? Well, there is definitely a difference in terms of control coming from these four wheels. So the TGT, you definitely have the best sense of control. And the reason why that is, the TGT wheel, is because it has that built-in transducer. Okay, so you can feel more tire flex. So this whole rim, like the rim, the whole base itself will actually rumble slightly, and you can feel a little bit more force feedback. So not only does it have the traditional force feedback coming through the rim, that transducer that's on the base, I can kind of feel the vibration through the play seat itself, and I do think that does help. It's a better sense of immersion, and more importantly, it's more fun. So yes, I do feel a little bit more force effects and the road and car with different rims. Now, the Fanatec also has this. It does really, really well with force feedback. It has a lot, but like I said, this has an added transducer that's only for Gran Turismo Sport, and you can feel a little bit more. Does this make you better? No, but it's kind of cool, and it's fun. It's just generally fun to have that. Let's see, next one. This is from Eric, GTR3123. I want to touch base on the TGT and the Logitech G29. How do both wheels feel in terms of force feedback? How do they feel? All right, well, compared to the G29 is a really, really good rim, by the way. I really, really like the G29. But the main difference is it's going to be the rim size, the diameter rim size, and there's much more force feedback on the TGT. It's undeniable. Once again, going back to that transducer and overall force feedback effects is much stronger on the TGT. Now, however, you don't really need really strong force feedback and all of that information on a game like GT Sport. I mean, I'm running just as quick of times on the G29 as I am with the TGT. Keep in mind, the TGT is more of a novelty, and it's fun. It's better quality than the G29. Like, it really is. I mean, you can really see where that money is coming from. But I don't think that those added force effects that you're getting is really going to be much of a benefit to just make you like some amazing player. Having a TGT over the G29 in terms of force feedback, that's not going to help with bad driving. If you're the kind of person that races in late breaks into somebody, I don't really think that the TGT is going to stop you from doing that. You know what I mean? To keep in mind, it's more of a novelty, not necessarily a necessity in terms of being faster. So, all right, so next question. Is there a wheel? Okay, this is by BSRO. Is there a wheel that you feel all around is the best? Seems each wheel has flaws and that there is no perfect wheel. In your personal opinion, of the wheels you have used, which has the smallest learning curve? That's a really good question. Okay, in my personal opinion, the smallest learning curve is definitely the Logitech G29. And the reason why I say that is because it's so simple. I mean, you literally can get the thing out of the box. You don't even have to update it. Like, you just literally can get the G29, open it back up. It's so easy to set up. You plug it in. It's locked at like a 900-degree rotation, and it's just so easy to use. I mean, the buttons are laid out really well. I really like the button quality. It's cheap, and it's just simple. I think it's a really good starter wheel to kind of get you into sim racing and other games, and playing Gran Turismo Sport is just really simple. I like the way it feels. It's pretty reliable. I've had no problems with it at all. I would definitely say the G29 in terms of simple learning curve. Now, best wheel overall that I have is definitely the Fanatec CSL Elite. The Fanatec is definitely the best wheel because what no one's really talked about yet in these questions are the pedals. A lot of people seem to focus on the wheel, but pedals are huge, and the Fanatec CSL Elite pedals destroy the TGT or the T300, those T3PA pedals that come, or the G29 pedals. They're really it's not nearly as good as a Loadcell from Fanatec. So I definitely think the Fanatec CSL is better overall, the easiest learning curve going to the G29. Do you have the brake mod on the T3PA? If yes, is it possible to adjust how far it has to travel for the brake to come to 100%? This is by CNF Tweck. Yes, I did put the brake mod, the conical brake mod, on the T3PA pedals that I'm using with the TGT. So you can adjust it, like that little rubber. It's like a metal bracket with a little rubber piece on the end, and you can adjust like the distance. Now, personally, I don't even think that brake mod is necessary. I know a lot of people say that, oh, you got to put the brake mod on there, whatever. But it's nothing like having a load cell. If anything, I feel like it's kind of awkward because you push the brake, it's really soft, right? Because the brake pedal is kind of relatively soft as it is stock. So then you add that rubber piece. So you push, and then all of a sudden you hit this rubber, and then you got to push harder to make it go full brake. I don't think that feels very natural. I have it on there because I just wanted to try it out, to review it, to see like what I would think. But yeah, you can adjust it, but once again, I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's really necessary to have these brake mods. I guess it's kind of cool to have a guide where you can kind of just hit it, and once you hit the hard point, you kind of know where you're at, and then you could just push through that for full brake. But that's something that you would have to play with. Some people play with shoes, and if you play with shoes, you definitely probably want the conical brake mod because it would be a lot easier to go full brake. And but for me, I play with socks, so I don't really need that added pressure. But yes, you can adjust it if you have it. But in my opinion, I say just leave it stock unless you play with shoes. Okay, so this is by Jay Jones. Okay, so if you can, please point out whether you are a GT Sports sim driver or a sim driver of all sims, whether the wheel is worth it. Okay, this is a good question. So basically, Jones is asking, if you're just playing Gran Turismo Sport, which isn't quite as sim, it's more technical people. They think, Assetto Corsa, an R Factor or more of a sim game, which wheel would be best? Well, I mean, honestly, the Fanatec all the way, because keep in mind that with the Thrustmaster TGT, the transducer only works for GT Sport. So if you're playing multiple games, multiple platforms, like you're playing on PC, you definitely want to go with the Fanatec CSL overall because it's just a better wheel overall, and the pedals are much better. Like I said, I can't stress how much I think the pedals are better on the Fanatec, and also just the different rim support that you can get on the Fanatec. So if you're really into sim racing outside of GT Sport, definitely getting the Fanatec CSL would be a better option for you. This is by TNT 2000. Do you have to readjust the degree of rotation with the TGT like we have to do with the T300? The thing. Okay, he's basically saying I'm getting tired of doing that. I wish they would do something about it. Okay, so no. On the TGT, once you lock in a degree of rotation, and how you do that, by the way, just like the T300, you would hold mode. You hold mode and hit left or right on this D-pad right here. And when you do that, 4 flashes is 900 degrees. 3 flashes is somewhere around 700. 2 is less, so on and so forth. So once you do that, it does lock in. I've noticed that I've turned off the game and come back, and it's still set where it needs to be. On the T300, when I was using that, what he means, guys, if you don't know what he's saying, on the T300, if you set it to 3 flashes, and then you go into a game, and then you get out and you go into another game, it resets itself, and you have to keep adjusting the degree of rotation. Now, I don't know, TNT, I don't know if you've updated your software, the driver software for the T300, but I would try doing that, because when I got my TGT, I actually did upgrade this. I upgraded to the most recent firmware, and if you haven't done that in your T300, maybe there's a bug fix for that. But yes, I do agree that's annoying, and no, it does not happen with the TGT. All right, so this is by NJF916. Being that you have tested almost every wheel, this is kind of funny. Being that you've tested almost every wheel out there, which one gives you the best bang for your buck? That's really easy. The best bang for your buck is the Logitech G29, hands down. The G29 feels fantastic. I mean, initially, if you guys have been watching me for a while, when I bought the G29 and I started playing on it, immediately I was already like comfortable. Like I was 100% comfortable with that wheel. It felt good. The pedals are really good out of the box. It's a way better. I like those pedals better than the T3PA pedals. So yeah, that's just a really easy question. The best bang for your buck would be the G29 because you can get that thing for like $250. So yeah, that's an easy question. Timbo says, I was wondering what wheel the top guys in GT Sport are using. That might have an indication of which wheel is best. I have the T300. I thought Polyphony has something where they set the best degrees of rotation depending on which car to use. Timbo, degree of rotation is really a personal preference. Some people race at 900, some at 1080, some at 720. That there is no best for that. It's just whatever you think is good for that. As far as best wheel for what the top drivers are using, I mean, some drivers are using G29s. I even know really fast drivers that are using the Thrustmaster T150. So don't think that spending more money on a wheel is going to make you a better driver or it considers those wheels to be the best. Obviously, the Thrustmaster TGT is going to be considered the best wheel because it's the flagship model and it's the only model that has a built-in transducer that has really been specifically designed for this game. So the best wheel is the Thrustmaster TGT for this game. Okay, so next, this is by Congo Nation. He says, "Hey Z, I have the TGT set up and noticed you tried the Ferrari wheel with the TGT base because it has a bigger diameter. Did you notice or feel a difference with the bigger wheel versus the stock rim? If so, is it worth getting the Ferrari wheel add-on for my setup?" Well, he's right. I do have this Ferrari rim right here, and this is the stock TGT rim right here. Now, I kind of did this for multiple reasons. So let me explain why. First of all, do you hear this? You hear how loud these buttons are? That really annoyed me with the TGT, and I did want to try the larger diameter to see what it would be like. To answer your question, no. I do not think that having this larger diameter rim has changed anything, nor do I think it's worth it for you to go out and purchase a larger diameter rim. I think I play exactly the same. I actually thought about swapping back to the TGT and the TGT rim, and the reason why is because this Ferrari rim, yeah, it's larger and it's all Alcantara and that's pretty cool and all that stuff, but it makes me feel like I'm playing on my T300, and that kind of bothers me because you know what I mean? I want it to be new. I want it to be different, and I use this rim on my T300. So, and also I don't like the button layout on the Ferrari rim. It's just because it says like, you know, flash, pit, radio, and on this, you know, you have all these knobs here that work in conjunction of the game, and it makes it really, really easy to change your brake bias or to change your traction control and all this stuff. So no, I would not waste your money and get a larger diameter rim at all. I would just keep with what you have. That thing is plenty good how it is. This is by Captain Optimus. Is there any advantage over rim size diameters? Obviously, the Fanatec is 30 centimeters rim, and most of the others are 28 centimeters rim. So I was just wondering if there's any difference on how the cars drive with the different sizes. Okay, this was kind of answered before, but not specifically with the other rims. So I don't think that rim size has any difference with driving. I really don't. And I know that people disagree and they're like, oh, I like a larger diameter rim or whatever. Once again, guys, it's just comfort, you know, like if you want something that's larger diameter, if you like that, then sure, go ahead and get a larger diameter rim. If you feel, you know, if you're like kind of a bigger dude and, you know, you got this little small rim and it's uncomfortable for you, oh yeah, you're going to want a bigger size. Now, I will say that I prefer the size of the Ferrari rim. I do like it, but it doesn't bother me at all going to the TGT rim size. I don't mind going a little bit smaller to get all those, you know, all the adjustments and, you know, have all the features that are on the TGT rim. I would rather have that for the difference in rim size. So no, I personally don't think whether you have a G29 rim size versus like this Ferrari Alcantara rim, I personally don't think that's going to make you better or it's going to be better in any way. This is by Truman. Anyone else having problems with TC, so it means traction control and brake balance, having a mind of their own? It's almost like I have a button stuck, but I changed to a brand new GT wheel and it's still doing it. Could be the T300 base. Okay, so Truman, I think I did answer your question when you answered this, but yes, the T300 has a bug. Okay, my T300 did the same exact thing. So if you're playing on your T300, and this happened with my stock T300 rim, and it also happened with this Ferrari Alcantara rim. Whenever you're playing Gran Turismo Sport, the game will randomly like pause, or sometimes like if I'm on like the brake bias setting, if I have my brake bias at 2, it'll all of a sudden just change to like 3 or 4. Like I didn't even do anything and it just changed. So I think there is a bug with the T300 base. Maybe it's a software bug, so try updating it, that it does make random things happen. So you're not alone. If you do have a T300 and your wheel's bugging out on GT Sport, that is something with GT Sport and T3 and the T300 base. I do not think it's the T300 because it never did it to me on a Assetto Corsa or anything like that. But yes, you're not alone. That's happened to me. All right, guys. So now we're going to talk about all the wheels in terms of value. I'll go over this really quick. The best wheel for the money in terms of value is the G29, hands down. G29 is the best because it's a fantastic wheel for the money. You can get it under like $275. The next would be the T300 if you could get that wheel around $350. If you can get the T300 for $350 with the T3PA pedal set, I think that would be a great deal in terms of value. After that, I would price the Fanatec CSL Elite and then the TGT. So the reason why I'm putting the Fanatec better in terms of value than the TGT, and I'm putting the TGT last, and that's going to kind of shock some of you guys because I'm basically saying that the TGT isn't really worth the money. Well, I'm not really saying that. We're talking about value. What I'm trying to say is the TGT is kind of expensive for what you get. Yes, it is the best wheel here, but is it really that much better that it needs to be $800 out of the box? Now, you can get it cheaper now. You can get it cheap. I'm sure you can probably get it for like $675 if you can. That's a really good deal. Go for it. But, you know, the thing is, it's really just good for Gran Turismo Sport. And when you play Assetto Corsa and you play a few other games that I've already played, I played a couple PC games, without that transducer working, it kind of feels like a T300. You know, it really does. You know, it doesn't feel that much different than the Thrustmaster T300 in other games. And to me, you know, shelling out, you know, $700 or $800 on this wheel, I just don't think that that's a great value for other games. Is it okay for this game? Like I said, yes, sure. For a novelty, it's great quality, yes, for Gran Turismo Sport. But the value is definitely not there overall compared to, like, let's say the Fanatec or the T300 or the G29, because, like I said, the main features, the cool features, only work with Gran Turismo Sport. The Fanatec, the reason why I'm listing that in terms of value, you know, third, just because it is pricey. You know, us console racers aren't really used to spending this much money. That's more money than the console itself. So I can't really list it as a great value product because it is expensive. You know what I'm saying? So, but the Fanatec, in my opinion, is the best wheel here overall. I don't think that any of these other wheels match it for other games. Once you pop in Assetto Corsa, you know, you immediately can tell, wait a minute, things have just changed. You know, the force feedback's much different, the information's much different coming from a different game, and you really learn to appreciate all those settings inside of the Fanatec wheel, and also the build quality. It's just better. You know, it's simply put, you're just happy with it. You know, you play another game and it just feels right. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it. I think I covered everything. I think I covered all your questions. I know this video is kind of long, and I'm sorry for that, but there's a lot to cover. It's hard to just, you know, talk about this really, really quick. I wanted to go in depth and answer these questions and try to think of everything that you guys might want to know to make your next purchase better. And for those of you guys that might already have a G29 and you're thinking about upgrade to a TGT, I was really hoping that this video would help. So I'm sorry it's dragged on, it's a little bit too long. I was really just trying to take my time making this video. I've already gone over this video like 4 or 5 times trying to make sure that I've covered the proper amount of information, because I don't want to see you guys spend money. You know, you go spend $700 or $800 and then you're disappointed. You know, I was just trying to make sure that I could be as unbiased as possible. And I'm not biased. I mean, I have all of these wheels. I'm being 100% honest with you. So I really hope that this helps you pick your next wheel. And I really hope that you enjoyed the video. So I'll be back streaming again this week, guys. I was just trying to make this video this weekend, and I also had a lot to do helping my buddy, and especially with work. I've been really busy. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys soon.